Yo guys, welcome to a very last second stream. We just had some pretty crazy stuff drop, some news drop, a trailer drop. We are indeed going to be getting a Siege rework. There's a big old blocker on the screen at the moment just while I set up because of course I was not very prepared for this whatsoever. I don't want to show a load of my own details and stuff, so let's get this set up and ready to rumble. That should be all good. Boop, no more peeking, and hello! I am the Infinite Dark. There's so many of me on the screen right now. We're simply going to pop over to the Siege rework trailer that has dropped. So I have checked this out. This isn't a first reaction. I'm just going to be reviewing it. I was like, okay, I've seen this video. I now need to do a video about it. But you know what? I might as well just live stream it, get to enjoy some of your guys' first reactions as well. And hopefully, fingers crossed, the overwhelming positivity that is going to be coming from this. For those who saw, maybe not too many people, I did a live stream and I was trying to hold back my rage at one or two people who I thought were definitely scaremongering in the community in the last couple of weeks, and particularly people who were definitely kind of withholding information, who knew this kind of stuff was coming but decided just to scaremonger people instead. So I'm very happy that it's just out there. CA have confirmed a Siege rework is indeed coming to Total War Warhammer 3, and I'm sure we'll get a load of positive videos, as well as I'm sure negative ones as usual, about such things. Should be good fun. I'm going to drop a little like, because I have actually seen this video already. If you want to find this, just go to Total War's official page, and we'll hop on into it. So let's go full screen mode. I've turned the volume down. I have seen this, but we'll go through it bit by bit, break down what they say, and most importantly, hope you guys enjoy this, fingers crossed. So yeah, how are you guys today? Before we hop in, actually, I will quickly look through chat. What's up? Quack Quack, Red Wish, Dervina, Tempest Wolf, Cat Morgan, CJ. We have a load of people kicking and screaming in here. Thank you guys for hopping in, as again, this was made like 2 minutes ago. I decided to check out a stream. Sadly, seems like no 360 walls. I'm not so sure, Hazel. We definitely have some indications on the minimaps, and this, of course, is a capital that they're attacking in this video, but I'll show you what I mean at the top right at some point. So first and foremost, we have to cover this. The maps look beautiful. This is ridiculous. The actual walls, the architecture, now this is a capital, so it's going to be extra fancy compared to your normal like settlements and so forth, but it does look pretty beautiful. And as you may have noticed, in the distance is the most glorious creature you can ever witness, a giant two-headed chaotic duck, and it is flying in the distance, so I guess that is proof there that the two-headed beast will indeed be flying in this game, which looks pretty cool.
Total War.
Look at him go, flying in the top left, load of fireworks shooting out, of course, and we get the lovely looking Forsaken down here, and some flies, but again, it's pretty standard stuff at the moment. But on this map, you are right, there's a little rocks kind of covering the rear, but that is just the last bastion of defense.
New ways of attacking as well.
Oh, we got blue horrors. I thought someone said they weren't confirmed. Oh no, okay, it looks like we have pink horrors and blue horrors, that's pretty cool. I don't know if they are going to be separate units though, rather than
every
splitting.
Inch taken will cost dearly.
Siege
Settlement
rework.
maps are now larger.
Hype.
We've introduced more variety of maps than in previous games.
So that's one thing to note as well. They've introduced more variety of maps. We're seeing one map right now, so we don't really know to what extent this is going to go. Is there maps with kind of no walls or very minimal walls that your opponents can just climb over? Is there going to be maps which have moats, for example, and water that they have to scale across? There's so many different possibilities, particularly from like not only a historic point of view, where most castles are relatively similar in design. You have the fantastical fantasy elements as well, particularly for each faction. It's going to come with its own defenses. I don't see particularly demons hiding behind walls for the entirety of the battle. I feel like they might have one or two more tricks up their sleeves. Will there be walls made of kind of mud and dirt and that type of stuff for greenskins going into the future? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. So.
With the fall of the Turtle Gate, Miao Ying
Turtle
moves her
Gate.
army from the Snake Gate to Wei Jin.
I don't know what it is about
in an
turtles, but I
attempt
love
to
turtles,
bolster
man.
the
That's so
city's
cool.
defenses and drive Tzeentch out of Cathay.
It really is quite a
Wei
fantastic
Jin,
looking map, although it is
capital
up
of
in
the
the mountains.
Celestial Dragon Empire, is a three-walled fortress and a testament to Cathay's arc.
It'd be kind of cool if we go back just a second if the big like terracotta knights, like these people, the statues, if like they came with the settlement and they were just standing in their like statue position with their halberds, and when the enemy come close, they activate and they like became guardians of a certain area. That'd be really dope. I don't know if that's something that's going to come to the game. But that'd be really
testament
cool.
to Cathay's architectural brilliance.
Yes, it is
when
very
defending,
brilliant.
Walls are the first defense against
those Giselles give me
army,
PTSD,
but
man.
by
Of
no means the
what
last.
Giselle release.
We now have the option to turn the streets into a bloody maze.
So that is the first kind of look, I suppose, at what you can spend resources on in this game. I know a lot of you guys would have seen the Korn v Kislev gameplay that they released absolutely ages ago now. It feels like forever ago when that was released, of this new game mode, this kind of defensive mode or attacking mode, and you can bring some of those elements into the game. This is why I was so confused when people were like, they're not going to do a siege rework. I'm like, they already have. It's right there. They're not going to make all those cool new I suppose utilities of kind of making walls, making pits and all that kind of stuff, and not bringing it to siege. It makes absolutely no sense. So as you can see here, you can now add walls into your roads, as well. I'm sure pit traps and all that other kind
Using
of cool
supplies,
stuff
we
as
can
well.
build towers, barricades.
Which is cool because being able to drive and dictate where the enemy has to fight is going to come with some probably quite fantastic cheese tactics, but also some real fun, kind of just for people who like to play chill, more thematic elements to the game as well.
Prepare and plan your defense, but never
Those towers
rest
look a little
easy.
scary.
The first object for any attacker to overcome is the wall-mounted towers. Unfortunately for us Sinch invaders, towers now have wider capture areas, so defenders don't need to be as close for them to be active.
So no longer do you have to sit right on a tower for it to be able to shoot. You can kind of be down the wall a little bit and still yelling, please can you shoot the gigantic crazed enemies coming towards us? This is something which has actually driven me slightly insane over the years on campaign, where I have to stick a unit right behind a tower for it to shoot, and half my archers can't actually rain fire down upon the enemy. So minor improvement, but definitely an improvement there.
This means we can spread our docked units across a larger area.
Just make sure, does this sound good for you guys? Can you guys hear everything well? I hope you are. What's up, Linksy? Cheese, I hear. Oh, yes. Wiki D, Mr. Logic, Robomore. Sorry, guys, I'm kind of ignoring you all at the moment. I will speak to you guys and ask questions after the end of this video, but we'll just do a little bit of breakdown first, and I'll get back to you. But hello, welcome, welcome, welcome.
And pepper the invaders with arrows, bullets,
oh,
and
those like weird
artillery on
demonic
their
like
approach.
dancey guys are fun.
The
Can't remember
might
their
of
names.
Grand Cathay isn't enough to keep Sinch from
The one thing I
breaching the
found
walls.
really weird is the siege towers. It's the fact that everyone has these like basic siege towers. That's one thing I would like to see, I must admit. When like the demons just like whip out these wooden siege towers, like, hey, here they go. I don't know, maybe we should have some like made of like rotting flesh or something a little bit more demonic. Maybe magical as well, where they can like form them using magic and create these ladders would be pretty dope. But you know, can't win everything. Still, it's useful, and they look so adorable climbing up the ladders.
Back to our secondary positions within the city.
So this is going to be pretty fun.
Now lies
The
with
idea
our
you can now fall
barricades,
back.
traps, and towers. We'll need a new currency introduced in Warhammer 3.
So this is what's about the minimap, guys. You can see, like, normally, like 9 times out of 10, you just get attacked from the front in Total Warhammer 2. As you can see here, you can get attacked from all 3 sides and then fall back to, like, a final bastion of strength. Now, I would like to see some maps where you can be attacked from all angles, but of course, this is the main capital of Cathay. It's meant to be impenetrable. It is the Helm's Deep of the Cathay universe, so I expected it to kind of be a little bit more defensible. Be interested to see if they do 360 maps. They haven't confirmed or denied that, at least to my knowledge, but I would be shocked if they did not. Very, very shocked indeed. Though the taken away of not having kind of naval combat, that was one of the reasons you often saw those maps before, was that they had a dock, so you could kind of swoop in on a boat, which is a cool mechanic for sure.
Supplies. We'll start the defense with a base number of supplies and can gain more during combat by holding locations around the settlement. Minor supply,
gain
key
more defense
building,
as you go.
and victory points. These key points have pre-designated build locations for construction. Once a barricade...
So you can see here, the more money you spend... Actually, no, it's only it looks like you can only spend a few, so you can build a basic wall, it would seem, for 0 gold, maybe, which is interesting. A bit more of a defensible one for 150. You can destroy your own buildings as well, but if your opponent destroys them, I don't believe you get money back. And that
it can be dismantled for a refund of supplies and rebuilt elsewhere. But keep in mind,
which is useful.
construction
You can
and dismantling
play as you
is
go,
a
it's
lengthy
always
process.
on the move. You're not static.
Barricades and towers are destroyed if their health reaches 0.
Oh, look at the Soul Crusher! What's it called in Fantasy, guys? It's still a Soul Crusher. I know that's what it's called in 40k. That is a pretty awesome look at the model. I didn't see that on my first view in there.
The supply, building, or victory point they're attached to is taken by the attackers. If this occurs, your supplies are not refunded. It's worth noting that whilst attackers can capture points, they cannot build barricades or towers.
Okay, so that makes sense, obviously. So when the enemy attack, they can destroy your stuff by capturing it and stop you from being able to build walls and more defenses, but in return they can't just chuck up a load of spikes, which is understandable. Their main job is to capture the city, not to chill out on the lower levels and kind of starve themselves to death. So I do like that quite a bit. All of those changes so far they've discussed, I'm a big fan of. I'd love to see them in action a little bit more. And now we're getting into this layered defense idea that you fight at the walls, but that's simply stage 1. If you lose the wall fight in Warhammer 2 at the moment in sieges, you've basically lost the entire battle, apart from in 1 or 2 kind of different instances where you can hopefully pin your enemy Rome 1 style in the streets with a big old mighty phalanx and shield wall. Now that's definitely going to be changing in this. There's way more possibilities to attack as well as defend, which I love.
Rather than a messy brawl in the streets, Warhammer 3's sieges are about defenders controlling the flow of battle, using a settlement's architecture to plan and execute layered fallbacks and hardpoints, where they can chip away at an attacker's forces.
Oh, the Bridge of Khazad-dûm.
Settlements have become multi-leveled with bridges and upper tiers that cross over streets, giving ranged units more opportunities to shine.
That you can fire from higher levels and shoot down like from a keep as they're trying to traverse their way through your actual city. I can see attacking giant cities like this being an absolute nightmare from now on, in a good way, that it's this big challenge you have to build up to, dedicate so much resources and time to, and then eventually take. And it's probably going to force normal people to siege out their opponents and try to starve them and force them to sally out King Theoden style.
A good many of these bridges and overlooks are dockable like the primary walls, giving our soldiers all the buffs and benefits of any other docked unit. In sieges, both the attacker and defender's role are tactically more challenging and more rewarding.
Ooh, we get a little look here. So, you can set down a trap, it would seem. So not only can you set down walls, you can set down booby traps and all that good fun stuff. And we have a barricade trap. This barricade will hinder attackers moving and fighting within its range, which is a hex, lowers speed and melee attack of enemies. That's going to be pretty crazy now. You have to like slogfest your way through these debuffs.
Settlements in Warhammer 3 have been designed with more open areas and strategic avenues to hide troops in. The avenues are the perfect ambush spot, making flanking and devastating
I wonder... So, with Troy... I know a lot of people had mixed feelings about Troy in general, though I think in the end they did a good job splitting it into, half mythical, half historical, and so forth. I wonder if they've taken some of the mechanics where units can hide in a kind of shrubbery and so forth by like looking down and crouching, kind of like this animation now. So I do wonder if you hide in these side streets, you become invisible to the attacker. And it seems like these guys are ready to ambush. So maybe you can lurk in the shadows and then pounce on your enemy from the flank and from the rear, which would be very, very cool. It'd make me a very cautious attacker, having to kind of check your six at all times.
Charges are more viable tactical strategy. In overview, Warhammer 3's sieges offer a diverse array of fresh settlements to overcome and protect. They allow defenders to prepare for a new kind of battle occurring after the attackers have taken the primary walls. They add a new currency to manage and spend on fortifying defensive fallback positions with barricades, towers, and traps which are used to further repel invaders. They allow for a multi-layered experience where units can be docked to overlooks and walls within the settlement.
Yeah, so this is going to be so useful for cheap archers now. Cheap range is already good in like every Total War game ever, basically, in existence. This is going to be real Shogun vibes. I don't know about you guys. Again, I'll be looking through chat after this and we can go back through anything in the trailer you want me to recount. So do save your questions and make sure to ask them. But this gave me real Shogun vibes, which is one of the most popular Total War games of all time. And you can see that as well with the other announcements they've done before with Total War. Like the multiplayer scene, they were considering adding in those objective-based missions. I think that was guaranteed, actually, to have kind of objective points. And it's really forcing players not only diverse their tactics a little bit more out of kind of what has become stagnant in the Total War Warhammer series, but also force people to be a bit more attacking, proactive, and all that good stuff, which may be a bit scary, because the game, for some, can be pretty micro-intensive as it is. So we're just adding layers.
Encourages real-time reorganizing of defenses to adapt to an ever-changing battle.
It looks so cool! The demons.
All of these
I'm all about
features,
Zinch at the moment.
coupled with dynamic new settlement designs, make for challenging and satisfying sieges.
Oh, look at this map. Look at it. It's so epic and grand in scale, which I think is what Total Warhammer 3 should all be about. It should just be the craziest, maddest, most insane Warhammer stuff you can cram into this game. It's the big finale, right? It's Warhammer 3. We expect everything to go up a couple of notches, both in the way of kind of sieges, like it is right here, but also in the ideas that they're bringing to the game. That's what I want.
Lows, and phenomenal visuals. Wei Jin has fallen, but the forces of Tzeentch will struggle to reach the celestial city above.
The two statues there reminded me of the kings in the Fellowship of the Ring, like the stone statues with a hand out. So barring the path there to the
safe for now. Even so, his daughter has barely managed to escape with her life. To Nangao she travels.
So hype. So hype. So I don't know if they released an FAQ with this. I know they did some interviews recently. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, so that's all we've got. For the most part, the pink horrors look absolutely adorable climbing ladders. I would agree with that. Well done, Orc Technician, or whatever your name is. Boop, gonna put you up there. But for the most part, it seems like people seem quite happy at the moment. Although there's something bizarre about the horrors using ladders, 100%. That's the one thing that kind of catches me off guard there a little bit. What do you guys think of that? Man, that was pretty hype. That was pretty hype. Shameful display, says Baba Big Blast. Hope you guys are all good. Give them ropes like Shogun, that'd be very cool. Or they should hover up. Yeah, that's the one thing that's weird, is like all factions using ladders. If they could get some stuff going for different ones. Yeah. So there's like a mini-map on the top right now. They better give the Dowie proper Carax, or they're going into the book. I'm sure that's something they will upgrade, but it will most likely be the Carax in the Warhammer 3 world, because I certainly expect to see some dwarfs on the map. In fact, I expect to see every single faction on the map, almost certainly. Yeah, so what do you guys think of that? Very exciting stuff. Was there anything you would like me to go over again? This was a real quick, just chuck together live stream. I was like, this fit out. I need to go make a video about it. And I was like, you know what, screw it. I'd rather to see everyone else's reactions to it as well, and see the general consensus, which for the most part, people seem to be really quite hyped, which is good for me. I like it quite a bit. And after some of the rather annoying, which I spoke about at the earlier video for those who missed, like scaremongering, like deliberate scaremongering by people to round up controversy and therefore views and so forth, or just for fun of it, it's kind of good to see, some positivity coming back through. But yes. Flamers look dope. Bowmore Flamers look very, very dope. They're like almost like dancing. Oh no, my headset. They're like dancing demons as they swirl and whip away. Kind of like really angry demonic jellyfish, which is something I would be scared of. Boop. Yes. The barricades are something you can attach like units to. So it won't stop your view if you like actually put the unit on top of it, I would think. Looks interesting. Wonder how they will balance attackers, since it looks like defenders have a lot more tools. Perhaps attackers will get even more funds, possibly in like a custom game, I would say. But as far as campaign, I think it's just going to be harder to attack, which, I mean, makes sense, right? That should be the point, that the attackers are having to go through this grueling exercise to take down the enemy. If you want to play it simple, you can simply starve out your opponent, but maybe you don't have that time luxury, and therefore if you've built your defenses well, they should be nigh on impregnable. Which is what I like to see. Sandpart says, it looks great. Yes. Dowie will be insane. I hope so. It looks like you guys, for the most part, are pretty happy. The little skink, I can't see over the ramp. We have to give him like a little box or describe it to him or something along those lines. Yeah, Soul Grinders look pretty cool. That's what they were called, I believe, in 40k. Yeah, we can go back and look at the mini-map, man. Oh, God. If we can find it. So here's like the mini-map. I don't think I'll be able to zoom in, but if you guys can see in the top right-hand side, so you can see the attackers can attack from 3 different positions right here. And you also have the little symbols to kind of say, these are gates, these are my key elements and so forth, and key positions. Got a couple up the top, so it looks like 3 main defensive ones and 3 outer bases as well. I must admit, this is something I did notice during my first look through. Please look at the art design on the cards at the bottom. I think it looks really cool. I think they've kind of continued where they left off with the rework of them from the last DLC, and they look pretty damn awesome. Pretty damn awesome. Although, this is interesting. We have the yin symbol for some units and yang for the other. Ooh, okay. Have they spoken about Cathay's mechanics yet? I don't know if they have, at least not in that much detail. The overlay looks pretty damn good. It looks like it's an improved version of Warhammer 2's, which is what I think you should probably do with the game when it's number 3. Just continue with what you have and improve upon it. You do quite like this symbol as well up top for the Cathay Warriors. And yeah, get loads of different units down here. I'm really excited to see those weird kind of like 360 mobile wizard platforms as well that they talked about in the Cathay reveal. And yeah, everything looks pretty good to me. I'm pretty excited. They should hover up. Yeah, if they hovered up, that'd be very cool. Increasing your city level will be interesting to see how it changes the defensive mechanics. Good point. I mean, this is the capital we're talking about. This is Cathay's home. This is their last stand, their last resort. So I'm expecting this to be a real over-the-top version of what we're going to be getting. Normally you're going to see hundreds of wolves, hundreds of archers shooting all times, giant turrets spitting fire at the enemy and so forth. But, you know, that's something we'll build to the longer we go in campaign. I hope this makes Siege Reworks fun. I would love to do, like, Siege like videos. It'd be cool. Like, imagine a multiplayer tournament where you have to attack capitals and so forth, and the defender gets less funds, but they get to fight to the last using all these new cool mechanics. I think it'd be really good. Would it be balanced? Only time will tell, of course. We'll have to see how the game does develop. But yeah, if you guys have any more questions, feel free to ask them now, or we'll pop out. Shall I find you a box? I'm glad you got the thing I was going for there. This is not an answer. Quack, quack, yes. Yeah, your mind's always about my play. 100%, man. I get that as well. Can't really be worse than Warhammer 2. Yeah, I don't. The Warhammer 1 and 2... What are the ones in dresses? The tool ones. Ooh. What are you talking about, Davina? Which, for Tzeentch or for Cathay? I'll have a little look for you. Just let me know. But personally, yeah, I used to skip every single siege battle in campaign. I'm not Fred set. I do it. I skip all of them. If I have to, I'll cheese one, but I don't really like doing that. And the best way to do them at the moment is by pure cheesing them. And to me personally, it's just really boring. And I'm like, well, why am I playing this? I'll just almost always auto-resolve those siege battles unless I absolutely have to. So hopefully this is going to invigorate us a little bit more to play these siege battles. And from the looks of it, it's pretty exciting. So let's have a little look for these mystical people you were speaking of. Let's go through the units that we can see. So obviously we got the big bird in the distance, we got all the flies in the sky, Forsaken down low.
How sieges work. With new ways of attacking,
I love the little blue and pink horrors. They look like meatballs from your nightmare.
Settlement maps. Gate to wage in.
We got different type of spear units. We know Cathay can be a very defensive faction, relying on spears and halberds to protect a lot of range troops.
Fire. By no means the last.
So we've got more archers. We've seen all these guys before. The crossbowmen, which are very cool mechanics.
Using supplies, we can build towers, barricades, and traps. Prepare to towers native.
See if we can find these units you were speaking of. Are you talking about these flamers? The demons with the... Oh my god, they have teeth on their skin! What is this? They look horrifying versions of... They look like naked Zoidberg when he comes out of his shell in Futurama. Oh, that's gross, but I love it.
Bullets.
Yeah, they're flamers if that's the unit you were speaking of. I don't think we got a full-on look at yet, so it's kind of cool to see them in action. The siege towers, like the siege ladders are the one thing which is really funny. They look so like adorable, like, here we go.
Secondary positions
time to climb, time to die.
The new current-based settlement. Point.
See if we can find any more new units. Get a nice little close-up on that Soul Crusher as well.
Taken by the attackers. If the attackers can capture points, they cannot build barricades.
So this looks like all stuff we've seen before, although there's this weird animation coming down, like the purple. I'm not sure if that's them killing the blue horrors, or that's their defenses giving them a bonus, maybe?
Rather than a messy brawl in the streets, Warhammer 3 sieges are about defenders controlling the flow of battle.
In the distance, you can see the mobile, like, wizard carries
fallbacks
as well.
And hardpoints, where they can chip away at an attacker's forces. To this end, settlements have become multi-level, more opportunities to
archers,
giving our soldiers all the both
More
used
archers.
to high and devastating charges.
So these, I don't think these ones you're talking about, but they look like the elite halberd guards, so some of them more elite infantry. You can see a sword variety as well, just
Some
down
more
to the left. So
viable
very interesting to see if that
tactical
is an ambush mechanic that they're bringing into the game.
In overview, overcome occurring after the and
So
spend
it's
on
still
craft
archers.
experience.
I'm assuming you were talking about the
encourages-
flamers, these ones. They look really cool. I know like Tzeentch isn't going to be for everyone's taste. It's only bright pinks and blues and magical colours, but it really is quite beautiful. The Tzeentch. Tall pink fins that have breath attacks. Yeah, they're flamers, these guys.
Real-time
They're the
reorganizing
flamers.
of defenses to adapt to
Which they can't do what they say on the tin.
battle.
They're going to be similar
All
to
of
something
these
like Iron
features,
Drakes, I would
coupled
assume.
with dynamic new settlement designs, make for challenging and visual. Will now.
We missed
to
the
now-
Soul Grinder, but the Soul Grinder looks very cool as well, I must admit. Very cool. I don't know if I missed it, but arty can't be placed on walls, right? We don't actually know yet, Swiss Pikemen. The artillery here just was placed at the back, shooting over top of the walls, so we don't know. We don't know. I guess on maps maybe with gigantic walls, maybe? But like if you've got a few stairs to climb, like a spiral staircase in a tower, then you definitely won't have to be able to have artillery on the wall because it would make no sense. You would have to break the whole thing down, climb up there, repair the whole thing, it'd be an absolute nightmare. But maybe on some of the bigger maps like this one, where they've got some big wide staircases you could climb, perhaps it would be a possibility. But much like horses, artillery, there is times that you have artillery on walls, I guess, through history. I'm sure there was. I know Stronghold Crusader you can, although that's probably not the most historically accurate situation. But, for example, you wouldn't have horses on walls because going up and down stairs is an absolute nightmare for a horse. You can get it to go upstairs, you can't get it to go downstairs. So, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, artillery in the streets would be quite useful. Tzeentch looks weird, just like it should be. Exactly, exactly. Well, looks like you guys enjoyed. Can Durfu hide in the shrubbery? He better be able to hide in the shrubbery. If there's no Monty Python shrubbery jokes in this game, I'm going to be so mad. Well, I think I'm going to close it out, people. Hope you guys enjoyed. This was a super quick, like, bam, last second stream, just because I saw this coming up. So I'm going to make a video on this anyway. I might as well just live stream it. And I enjoyed watching you guys, enjoyed seeing your guys' reactions and thoughts. From the most part, for those wondering why I keep looking down, it's because I have your beautiful people on my phone. That's where I view my chat, and it looks like for the most part, people seem pretty pumped up. Pretty pumped up. A siege rework, that is awesome, 100%. So, it looks like everyone's quite happy. When do you think we'll see a Tzeentch roster reveal? Possibly later this week, honestly. I think we'll see one more trailer from Tzeentch, like they did with Cathay, which will still feature Cathay, and then we'll get the roster revealed. I think that's been their marketing scheme with Kislev as well as Khorne, and now they're doing it with Cathay and Tzeentch. So I expect it very, very soon now that Cathay has been done in the next week or so. I'll make sure to try to cover as much as possible. A lot of stuff, obviously, people get a little bit early access to and make videos already. On those occasions, I don't tend to make videos about it because there's not much point. So if someone's already done like a roster reveal when it actually drops, I won't do it. But something like this, where you know, it just gets dropped out of nowhere, I'll obviously do a live stream too and do a reaction. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will be streaming it later today, but I will be doing it over on Twitch. I know I have a Twitch account as well now. It's going to be a cool new series I'm doing with another Total War Warhammer streamer actually, although we're not doing Total War, called One Pro, One Bro. Should be good fun. You can check me out over there. I'll drop a link to you guys in just a second. If you do want to go support me on Twitch, I'll be back doing a YouTube stream tomorrow. YouTube videos every single day and all that good stuff. So, let's pop back into here quickly. I'm just going to add up a little sign again so I can go find you guys that link. But I hope you enjoyed. It was really awesome. I had an absolute blast there. I'm just so excited we're going to rework. I'm so excited. Even if it doesn't end up being as good as it looks, because it looks pretty awesome now, even if it ends up being pretty average, I don't care. You can't really, you know, it's not that hard to improve, I think, on Total Warhammer 2. So I'm just excited to see the improvements anyway. So here's a link to my Twitch. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let's quickly end the poll there. It looks like most people were hype, which is good to see. Good to see indeed. Apologies again if I missed any questions and so forth, but it seems like most people were just here for an absolute good time. So yeah, most people hype and hype. I love it. I know a lot of people here as well do prefer multiplayer on my channel, so you might not be too interested in the Siege rework and all that cool stuff. But anyway guys, until next time, peace, and as always, stay awesome.